Harrison, North Carolina, key battleground states.
ABC's Perry Rumsum reporting. In California, powerful quake strikes near Malibu and felt some 60 miles away.
A 4.7 magnitude earthquake.
And good morning. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. This is the video live stream. Over there is Bret Witkowski. Wave to the cameras, Bret. What do you got there? What's that?
Got my bull ring back.
Oh, well, you didn't get it back. You got a replacement. Let's see what you got there. Hold it up close to the camera. Get close. We can't see it.
That's as close as I moved to.
You want me to move the camera?
No, that's good. That's good enough.
Okay, so what is that you're showing us? What ring is that?
Was fortunate to play football down at Ball State. We won the Mid-American Conference Championship, won to a bowl game, and hence the ring, which originally was stolen at a local workout place.
So let's slow down. Let's unpack that. So you got that from...
That's a quick story. Otherwise, you start playing country music on it.
Yeah, I do have to pull that up. Hang on a second.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, let's see. Just in case you start going long. So you got that when you were at Ball State?
Correct.
What were you doing?
Played football.
Tennis? Table tennis?
Foosball.
No, you were playing football, and you went to a bowl game. What bowl game did you go to?
Well, it was California Bowl, which then got moved to now it's Las Vegas Bowl.
What's the name of the bowl, though? So like the
California Bowl.
It's not like Orange Bowl or
no. It was
anything. Rose Bowl,
a very minor bowl.
Copper
it was
Bowl,
actually one
like the tiny bowl,
toilet bowl.
Toilet bowl.
Had a little tidy. Remember the little guy in the boat going around?
Yeah. He was always just so nice.
It was actually
double-breasted blazer.
There weren't many. Yeah, that's right, with his hat.
Yeah.
At that time, there was only like 15 to 20 bowl games instead of 40.
Okay.
And so only one team from the conference went to a bowl game.
Nice.
And so
you got. We'll have to finish that.
Win. You had to win to get there.
We'll finish the story in a second. We've got to get back to our news here, but it and at some point it was stolen.
Yeah, I went to play ball at lunch.
What kind of ball? Basketball?
Yeah.
Okay.
And was in a full service locker room at a local place. Was it locked up?
It was locked up?
Yep.
And it still got stolen?
Yep.
Well, that's unfortunate. Anything else get stolen?
Nope.
Just your ring?
Yep.
You sure you just didn't lose it?
No.
Okay. Dog ate it? Did you follow the dog around for a couple days?
The cat.
Cat ate it?
Nope.
Okay.
No, it was...
you think you know who took it?
Yeah, I think an employee.
Oh, no.
Who saw me put it in there.
Ah, that's unfortunate.
Yep.
Sorry to hear that. Well, I'm glad you have a replacement.
Yeah.
That's a pretty ring. That is shiny.
Took a while. Took 15, 20 years because it costs a little bit to get the replacement, and we had kids to raise and bills to pay.
Yeah. That's nice. Maybe, can I try it on?
Sure.
Okay, hang on a sec. We gotta get news in.
I had to actually, it's too big for my finger. I lost weight.
Is it really?
Yeah, I got lost weight.
It might fit on me. Hang on a sec.
Bills piling up? Rent due? Need cash help but have bad or no credit? Then you need to go to FastLoansAI.com, where you can get approved for a loan of up to $10,000 regardless of your credit score. FastLoansAI.com is one of the largest lender networks. Their advanced technology can help anyone get up to $10,000. Best part? Money can be in your bank account as fast as the same day. When you need fast cash, go to FastLoansAI.com. That's FastLoansAI.com.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM Newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
62 degrees in Benton Harbor, 63 in St. Joseph. Buchanan has 60 degrees right now. So does Niles. And it's 63 in New Buffalo. Good morning. I'm Ken Lundberg, WSJM Morning Show. Good morning. Bret Witkowski. He's the co-host here on Fridays. Good to see you.
Yeah. I'm trying to find the morning sports on the website.
And he is going to let me try on his Ball State bowl ring.
There you go.
Here in a few minutes, as soon as I get done with the news. That thing is huge.
It is.
You have big hands.
Big.
You have big hands.
Yeah, but I've lost weight, and I had to put some tape into it.
Oh, you had to get it resized?
Yeah. Did I tell you we went to... So our oldest daughter had bought Amy a ring.
I have to get to the news. No, go ahead. Write it down. Write it down and hold that... You don't even have a pen in your hand.
I don't need one. I got memory. I'm like an elephant.
All right.
More ways than one.
Let's go through the news first. Let's do just quickly the weather.
You're all flustered here.
I'm excited. I get to try on the Ball State bowl ring for the California Bowl. Did you win? Did the Ball State win?
No, we lost to Fresno State, which is now moving to the
Fresno State?
Pac-12. Yeah.
Wow.
Played in Fresno.
University of Michigan just beat up on them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, the Bulldogs. They beat us. I think it was 27-10. I still remember the
Okay.
score.
Well, they were good back then. Forecast for today, mostly cloudy skies are expected. Breezy conditions, a high around 83, southeast winds 10 to 20 miles per hour. And then that's really going to, after we get rid of these clouds today and tonight, we're going to go into a stretch where it's going to be partly to mostly sunny here in southwest Michigan for the foreseeable future, at least the next, 7 days or so. They say it's going to be partly sunny, a high around 84 degrees, and lows overnight around 62, 63 degrees, somewhere around that, maybe getting into the lower 50s, lower 60s, upper 50s. But that's going to be it. I mean, it's just going to be partly to mostly sunny skies for at least the next 5-6 days, maybe 7 days, where you get highs in the lower to mid 80s and lows in the upper 50s, lower 60s. So it's going to be a nice stretch.
It's like July.
So you're going to have to get the watering stuff out.
Yeah. Well, I've been watering our yard because it took a beating.
You can tell because one of my neighbors is watering incessantly. The neighbor right across the street, not watering at all.
Yep.
And his
One's
grass,
yellow.
the one across the street, is not looking good.
You get the radio station waters here. Looks nice.
Yes, we do water. As a matter of fact, I have to dodge the sprinklers pretty much every morning because they shut off right at 4 a.m.
Do they?
Yeah.
I think you're still on well water here too, which is good.
I believe that is correct.
Yep.
Yeah. Little animals crawling in and out of the well all the time. Some of the news that we have from the WSJM newsroom today, Benton Township Police Chief Greg Abrams has a plan for dealing with late night partiers. We're talking about those illegal block parties. They oftentimes hang out in business parking lots over the weekend, including here. I mean, for full disclosure, Midwest Family, we're at 580 East Napier Avenue, and we have multiple times seen middle of the night, middle of the morning, like 3 a.m. gatherings happening on Saturday night, Sunday morning, where there are more cars in our parking lot at that time at 3 a.m. than there are in the middle of the day here.
Well, that's because they're waiting for dining deals.
Yeah, right?
You want to buy a radio.
Oh, boy. But speaking on this week's webcast of Chatting with the Chief, hosted by Benton Harbor Public Safety Director Dan McGinnis, Chief Abrams said his department is going to start towing cars of those in attendance at those illegal parties, those illegal gatherings. Abrams has been talking with the owners of businesses where these unauthorized parties have been taking place.
We're going to have them sign pretty much a letter of agreement allowing Benton Charter Township Police Department to tow vehicles out of their lots without us having to contact them first. This is going to detour a lot of that parking illegally, gathering illegally, and we're just at the point right now, once we receive those letters back, we're going to be contacting tow agencies, and at some point, they're probably going to follow us out to these locations.
Abrams says he's also considering doing that on residential streets when vehicles are blocking the flow of traffic. Another plan he's weighing is to send officers out to locations of late night block parties with warrant lists so they can arrest people with outstanding warrants at those parties. Benton Harbor and Benton Township law enforcement have been working together recently to try to stamp out the illegal block parties that have recently ended in some shootings and at least twice some homicide deaths. The Unified Civic Monuments Project, the effort to construct monuments to Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. in Benton Harbor and St. Joseph, has received a new boost. The Laborers International Union of North America, Local 355, has made a $60,000 donation to the project. The union represents about 500,000 workers in the construction and energy industries in the U.S. and Canada. Sharon Brown with the Monuments Project tells us the donation came through a chance meeting between her and Local 355 business manager Arlander Washington in Benton Harbor. The local was in town for an event during the Senior PGA Championship.
He shared why he was there, and I shared what I was looking for, and we went from there to the monuments. And he had not heard and was delighted to hear, and right away said, I need you to send me some information. I think this might be something that my organization would be very much interested in supporting.
Brown says this is one of those stories about how wonderful things can happen through chance. Construction is now underway on the monuments, and additional donations like this one will be used for ongoing educational programming and special events.
He said, is it too late? And I'm like, no, it's not too late because the work continues.
Brown says donations are still being accepted, adding the Monuments Project could potentially bring Martin Luther King III to town this year if it raises enough money. Speaking of special events, Brown has also announced the project will hold a Unity Walk this Sunday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Starts at Dwight P. Mitchell City Center Park in Benton Harbor. Morton House Museum Director Chuck Yeager says he'll be the special guest there. Meanwhile, the monuments are expected to be finished this fall. And the MSU Extension Office is helping local law enforcement better prepare and deal with traffic crashes that involve livestock. It's called the Emergency Response to Accidents Involving Livestock Program, also known as E-Rail. It's aimed at providing livestock-focused resources to assist in corralling animals after such incidents occur. Ron Bates is the director of the MSU Extension Agriculture and Agribusiness Institute and describes how the equipment will help.
The equipment itself, it is a variety of different things. It includes gating so that they can make portable corrals they have panels that they can use to help move livestock, put them in a state that they can then get them onto other vehicles and get them away from the scene.
Berrien County Sheriff Chuck Hite says this will be a great help for local law enforcement and it will help improve overall traffic safety.
If we don't have this, we're forced to try and deal with the animal. As I mentioned before, if you let them out, they can run across the street, cause even more of a danger to other vehicles that are traveling. Finding a place where we can get them in a safe manner is just a great resource. It's also one of those resources we hope we don't have to use very often.
MSU used government grants to start deploying the E-Rail equipment and training last year. Berrien County is among the first to receive the equipment this year in 2024. That's a look at some of the news that we're covering from the WSJM newsroom this morning. We've got more. It'll come up at 7:30. We'll also have the latest from our ABC reporting agency, and we've got Bloomberg as well for the financial news. It's all coming up right here on the WSJM Morning Show. Sports now and some chit-chat, and we've got our video live stream up if you want to see any of the behind-the-scenes chit-chat that Bret and I have talking about. We're going to explore his ring here in a moment, his bowl ring, when he went to the California Bowl. That's coming up in just a moment right here on the live stream.
Thursday afternoon baseball in downtown Detroit.
All right. So you've got, may I?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right.
I trust you.
Oh, my goodness. Look at this darn thing.
Yep.
Woo! This thing is pretty.
It's nice.
Yeah, let me put my glasses on for this one.
Yeah.
Wow. Not that I need them. Light. Where's the light? Okay. All right. So for those of you on the video live stream, what I'm looking at here is the Ball State championship ring that Bret Witkowski earned by going to the California Bowl where they played Fresno State. Oh, it's the Raisin Bowl. What are you talking about? It's not the California Bowl. It's the Raisin Bowl.
California Raisin Bowl. That was
you never said raisin.
Well, everybody just called it like they call it Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
Orange Bowl.
Yeah.
It was a sponsor.
Yeah, it's the Raisin Bowl.
Yeah. I technically
it says correct. Raisin Bowl right on here.
Well, that's because they sponsored it.
It says he played in 1988 or 89.
89.
Okay. Oh, that's pretty. Okay, I'm gonna hold it up to the camera here.
Yeah, go ahead.
It's kind of making my arm tired though. Wow, that's pretty. What's that red stuff?
That I have no clue. You're asking the wrong guy on that.
Yeah, that is pretty. Is that a diamond in there?
Not real. But I wouldn't have you holding it if it was real, trust me.
And then he's got tape on the back end of it.
Well, because it's too big for my hand.
That looks like a real diamond. Ball State, 1989. Let's see here.
Does it fit you?
It might work as a scarf, like a winter scarf around my neck. Whoa. It barely. If I have a thumb ring, it works on my thumb, kinda, but only because the tape's there. No, that's really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, that's my birthday, Christmas, Father's Day.
Nice.
Yeah, I always wanted to get it redone.
Amy encouraged you to do that?
Yeah, she's always been good about it. She's like, you need to get that. And,
but
I always,
that's sweet.
Good
morning, Bill.
When you have kids, as you know, there's that period before kids you do financially okay.
Yeah.
Then there's a period during kids where you survive.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And then afterwards you do okay. So one of my college teammates, I reached out to him we were only one of really two players from Michigan, so we always kind of bonded together. He played at Three Rivers.
Yeah.
Name's Charlie Barth. He lives down in Indianapolis. I'm like, you still have that, like the bowl ring? And he actually had the box still.
That it came in?
He had the original tag and everything. So that's
Wow.
how I, about a year ago, started looking into it and digging into how to get it. And so I can't remember the name of the ring company, but they sold it to an aftermarket company. But they got me all the contacts and
okay.
You know, something I didn't know. I went to get the ring, my ring fingers sized.
Right.
Down at Black Rose in downtown.
Okay.
And the guy, he's been there probably for 50 years.
Sure.
But he said everybody's right hand is 1 or 2 sizes bigger than your left hand.
Why is that?
Don't know. Didn't ask. And sure enough,
even for lefties?
Yeah. And I'm left-handed.
Huh. Well, that's interesting.
But he's like, it's a good thing you came in because he says, don't go off your left hand. Everybody's right hand is a little bit bigger for most people.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it looks like it. Okay.
Thought that was interesting. Sure enough, it was, this side was a size 12, 13, and then my right side was a 15.
Interesting. Okay. Well, thank you for sharing that story.
Yeah, it was really, I just was shocked.
I wonder where your ring is today.
Well, I will tell you this. After it was stolen,
yeah,
they put the locker room on lockdown.
All right, we'll be right back.
We head into tonight as well. A little bit breezy at times with the wind out of the southeast. We drop down to 62. And then for tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, high temperatures in the lower 80s. We'll be in the low to mid 80s on Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
Well, happy Friday.
The 13th.
It's Friday the 13th, if you're of that. I mean, I've never considered it an unlucky day. Knock on wood. No suspicions there. Superstitions. But yeah, I mean, you don't have that superstition. You don't care if it's Friday the 13th or not.
No, it doesn't. No, it really doesn't bother me.
Yeah. Yeah.
But some people it does bother. And I get that. I mean, for some.
Do you walk under ladders?
Yeah. I mean, if I can, I'm pretty tall. It would be pretty hard to walk under. You'd have to actually, well, I mean, if you're in Chicago and stuff, they're doing the construction.
Scaffolding doesn't count.
I
in my own mind, I've determined scaffolding doesn't count.
Okay.
No, the walking under ladders makes sense because you don't want to walk under a ladder because you know why? Somebody's probably working on top of that ladder. And you don't want to jostle the ladder. You don't want to get hit by something falling down from it, screwdriver or paintbrush or something.
Sad story.
Oh, no. Don't bring us down because we got a football preview to get people up here in a moment.
You want it or not?
I don't know.
It's a superstitious story.
Oh, go ahead.
But it's beyond tragically, and I won't say the name.
Okay.
We had a meeting 2015 or 16,
and
it was 3 of us, and the one person had to get out and go and lean
to the restroom.
No, to leave the building.
Oh, to leave the building.
To pick up somebody.
Oh, okay.
And leaned against the wall where there was a mirror and it hit, and broke the mirror.
Oh, okay. And that's a superstition. You don't want to break the mirror because that's 7 years bad luck.
And then sadly, within 15 minutes, she was killed in a car accident.
Oh my goodness. That's horrible.
Yeah. Still bothers me to this day.
I bet. Yeah,
that was.
Well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, that still bothers me.
As I'm sure it should, and many others as well. All right. Well, thanks for that.
Well,
Brett.
I asked you ahead of time, but it was a true story.
But you said it was a superstition thing.
Well,
I thought we were in for something.
But I'm not
more
into
ethereal, more disconnected from our
black cats,
our day to day. I always found as a kid, because I grew up on different farms. I always found as a kid that we had a lot of black cats around the farms, and they were always nice to me. Never had an issue.
What's the superstition with a black cat? Bad luck, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I think if a black cat crosses your path, that means bad luck, and I think it's just that day.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think it goes on like a mirror of 7 years.
Okay.
But yeah, I wonder why the mirror thing. We should explore that. Maybe we'll explore that if we have time in the 8 o'clock hour. I do want to get to a couple of things, including hearing aids from Apple. Did you hear about this? Let's talk about this real quick, and then we'll get to our football preview. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration yesterday authorized the first over-the-counter hearing aid software that is intended to be used with compatible versions of the Apple AirPods Pro headphones. So the Apple AirPods.
Yeah.
We've talked about them before, how they're pretty sophisticated in that they not only bring you, your music or your podcasts or whatever, your WSJM Southwest Morning News podcast
or the Friday Night Football.
Or the Friday Night Football, or the Coaches Show, or any of the other podcasts we do, including Flick Pick that we'll get to next hour.
I like that.
Yeah, Flick Pick next hour is Beetlejuice. By the way, Andrew Green went and saw it. So, but the AirPods, they can determine the position of your head.
Wow.
And give you a different sound experience based on where your head goes. But earlier this week, Apple said its AirPods Pro 2 could now be transformed into a personalized hearing aid by using an upcoming software update that could boost specific sounds in real time, including parts of speech or elements within a user's environment. New hearing health features will be available this fall for AirPods Pro 2 users in more than 100 countries and regions, according to the company. Once installed and customized to the user's hearing needs, the software enables versions of the AirPods Pro to serve as an over-the-counter hearing aid. That's what they're saying, and the FDA agrees, and health regulators have approved it. They're saying it's for people 18 years or older with perceived mild to moderate hearing impairment.
Okay.
Yeah,
I'm going to get closer to that.
What?
Yep. Yep.
All right, 722 Laser Graphics wants to inform you on all the fun football things that are happening this weekend. And here to give us the football preview, Bret Witkowski. Hey, Bret.
What's up?
It's good to see you.
Nice to see you, too.
Let's talk about.
I didn't bring any food again.
Well, that's all right. Let's talk about football. Yeah, I still have the parts of the. No, I shared the cookie with Stephanie, and it was delicious. So thank you again for them. I did. I took like a third of it. I ate a third of it as soon as you left the room.
Yeah.
And then I took the rest of it home.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
And Stephanie and I ate it. It was good.
Did you cut it up with a knife like George Costanza?
I did not. No knife and fork. No knife and fork for the Snickers bar on that. No, I what I like to do is I let the other person separate it, and then I get to pick which half I want.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right, you go. Football preview. What's happening?
St. Joe's hosting Kalamazoo Loynorks tonight over at Dickinson Stadium. It's going to be warm. It's actually Loynorks and St. Joe are the only teams that are 2-0 in the conference. Conference did not do great outside of conference games.
Okay.
Other than Loynorks and St. Joe. St. Joe had a tough game last week. Physically hard-hitting game from start to finish versus Edwardsburg. Edwardsburg is going to go 7-2, 8-1.
Okay.
The offense for St. Joe, they ran the ball pretty effectively early. That kind of got taken away. Then St. Joe's passing game really got going with Crossman, and he hit Ciccarello for 3 big plays, 3 touchdown passes. And again, it starts with the line. St. Joe's offensive line does a great job. They can move the ball running. They can give him time in the pocket. And then St. Joe's defense, again, flies around.
Yeah,
they're quick and able to contain a run team like that. And on the defensive side, there's some guys that are just flying the ball. Cody, Lang, Schmidt, Johnson, Zarate, and Rapet are the guys leading the way tackles. But very seldom are we announcing just one person making the tackle for St. Joe. And I think that's always the key. If you can have team tackling, it means guys are flying to the ball. You'll be good. And, I said it last week, I think this team has a legitimate shot to go 9-0. There's 7 games still to play.
Right.
But I like where they're moving. They're playing a lot of guys. Loynorks plays more of a spread offense. A lot of seniors. I think St. Joe, with their ability to start 20, 22 guys, is able to wear down their opponents in that third and fourth quarter, while other teams have to play the same player both sides of the ball.
Coming into the season, you were talking about how many varsity veterans St. Joe was bringing back this season.
Mm-hmm.
And for the first 2 games, it seems like your predictions were accurate, that the varsity veterans are really leading. They're bringing that value that you expect them, that experience to bring. We're going to see this again tonight.
Yeah, I've always believed you're only as good as your seniors. And I think you see that even at the college level in basketball. And and in football and other sports, because seniors have that experience. They have that finality to it because they know there's no next time.
Right.
And if you lose, it's
leave it
over.
all on the field, man.
And football is one of those sports where you don't, very, 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 very few play at the next level of any level.
Right.
And it's not something you just go play with your buddies on a weekend. Let's go get the helmet and shoulder pads and go out there.
Let's get the equipment on. Yeah.
And so, I think St. Joe has a lot of seniors. They have a mixture of some younger players who are getting some experience. The nice part is, their JVs and freshmen are really JVs and freshmen getting a lot of playing time with their class, which I think is important. The thing I have noticed refereeing again and doing the games is the amount of time these young men, like last night I did Coloma at South Haven. I was beyond impressed the physical shape of these young men. The weight room and how they're using it today versus 10, 20 years ago is night and day.
How so?
Just they're physically fit and strong. I mean, they hit hard.
Yeah.
The St. Joe JV game last week versus Edwardsburg was like a varsity game. I've never seen JV game hit that hard. And a friend of mine who I served on a county board of commissioners, and we were really good friends, and he played at Western. He went to the game last week, and he watched the JV game. He said the exact same thing. Matter of fact, he said it first, how hard hitting that JV game was. But I'm impressed with the weight programs. And I did weightlifting at Michigan Lutheran for 15 years, and it makes a difference, not just physically, but I think on the mental side,
right?
When you walk out there, you've been doing all this work. I think you just feel you're stronger, which then makes you stronger.
Yeah.
It's like, prepping for a test.
Is it reducing injuries as well?
Oh, yeah. St. Joe has not had any injuries that I can think of at this
That's
point.
great.
Yeah. And, but, I think St. Joe's team is, they're built. They've got numbers, which when you have numbers, you have hard practices because there's, if you're not going to perform, there's probably two people behind you ready to take your spot.
Yeah, that's great.
And I just think, the coaching staff is a veteran coaching staff. Coach Prattley's been there his 6th season. This is his 3rd stop in his career. You've got Steve Graziano, who's his assistant coach, who's a defense coordinator. He was actually head coach at Lake Michigan Catholic before. You've got Gandalf Church, who's a defensive coach. He was actually the head coach before Prattley. So, you've got gentlemen and coaches on that staff who know how to run a program. And I think Coach Prattley does a good job trusting his staff and empowering them.
Yeah.
And it looks like a college program. I'd be down. When they come off the field for offense, they get together and talk. When they come off the field for defense, they come together and talk. And that's what you see at the college level. And that's because they got a lot of guys who just play one way. There's a couple players, I think Ciccarella and Schmidt play a little bit both ways. But for the most part, those young men are out there playing one way. I think the heat's going to have some effect tonight on Loyal Norks because they have so many guys going both ways. So, this might be a game where it gets St. Joe may get into the 50s. Could be 54, 55 to 14.
Is that your official prediction? 55?
14. Yeah.
14. Okay.
Yeah,
I was just looking back at your last week's prediction. Your prediction last week, St. Joe versus Edwardsburg, was 28-16.
Okay.
And they finished up at 36-29.
Okay.
So that's a similar spread.
Yep.
But you're thinking 55-14. So not much of a contest anticipated.
Well, it's just me. This is the 50th meeting between the two schools, but they haven't met for a few years.
Okay.
So Loyal Norks is in the SMAC conference. Them and Gull Lake found like a loophole how to get out of it for football for a few years because they really struggled. But the conference, I think, said either in or out. And so they had to come back in the conference. But, Loyal Norks is a school that has 1,700 kids.
Holy mackerel.
That's bigger than some D3 colleges.
That's pretty big.
And they've grown in the last 10 years. I was looking at by 500 students at the high school.
Wow. All right. So your prediction 55-14, St. Joe beating Kalamazoo. That's your prediction. We'll come back and visit that again next week. Where are we sending our Sean Robinson, WSJM Sean Robinson, for this week's game?
Sean's going up to South Haven. So the Rams had a big win last week, and they played a Division I school and beat Holland.
Okay.
And beat Holland, which is big. And Coloma, I was really impressed with their JV team. They lost 8-6 to South Haven yesterday, but physically solid, had good numbers. Coloma did not have a varsity team 2 years ago.
All right.
So it's easier to start a program than restart a program.
Yeah.
And they've done a good job restarting it. So Sean will be up there. We switched it up a little bit. We're going to have him actually in our pregame do his pregame.
Okay. Great.
And because just to help our listeners,
sure,
I have to wait till the first quarter.
Scene set before that.
Yeah.
The game starts. Okay. All right. So Sean Robinson, WSJM Sean Robinson, he actually talked to some of the let's see, at least one coach and a few of the players. And his podcast is on our WSJM podcast list. You just go to the WSJM Sports Podcasts and look for the player's voice. And he'll have some insight to the game, but then the full pregame preview of the game will come during the St. Joe pregame.
Yep. He's a nice young man. I got
Sean?
Yeah,
he's good.
I got a chance.
We hired him. He's great.
Well, yeah.
Sorry,
I actually got a chance to meet him on Monday.
Oh, is that the first time you guys met face to face?
Correct. We've talked on the phone or text.
I did not know that.
But that was the first time we met. Nice young man, and does a good job asking questions.
Good.
He puts people at ease. He does a good job with that.
That's why we have him in the news department, because he's stealth like that.
Yeah, he does. I was impressed with young man.
Okay. All right. We're behind schedule, but that's good information.
And that's normal.
Thank you for the pregame preview.
I got other previews too if you want.
Oh, why don't we come back for that? We got to do a news break, and we'll come back and talk a little bit more.
Have you been thinking about building your savings?
We got a couple commercials here so we can keep talking. And let's say, oh, my goodness gracious. All right. So we've got a lot of comments here. So Bill, of course, we said good morning to Bill already. Good morning again, Bill. John, good morning, everyone. Good morning, John. Teresa, good morning. Let's see. Stephanie can confirm that she got half the cookie that I brought home.
I believe you, unlike Traverse City's.
That's great. Diane says, good morning, everyone. And then Teresa asks, how do you think Lakeshore will do?
Well, good question. Lakeshore is 0-2 right now, trying to avoid their first 0-3 start since 1987.
Yikes!
They're a young team. They start a lot of sophomores. They play Portage Central, which is also 0-2, which is probably the biggest shock in the conference.
Wow.
But they have played a very tough non-conference schedule. And so the game's at Lakeshore, which I think when you're home, it's always worth an extra 7 points. Lakeshore needs to win this game. I mean, I think they're going to struggle, though. I think they're just having a hard time.
Yeah, what's the issue?
Well, other teams scoring more points. But
No.
they had a hard time with Niles, losing 46 to nothing, and Portage Central usually likes to run the ball too. And so I think it could be a hard night for Lakeshore if they need to win the first quarter. When you're a team struggling, like in basketball or football, the first quarter is important.
Yeah.
Because if you're behind, you can talk all you want as a coach, but every athlete will say, here we go again.
Yeah.
So first quarters to me are immensely important if you're a team reeling. And I've gone through that as a coach. Not much, but I've gone through it.
Yeah.
And I really preach we got to win the quarter. Win the quarter, the rest will take care of itself.
Yeah. What are some of the other big games that we should be watching this weekend?
Benton Harbor's up at Muskegon Catholic Central. People say, oh, why are they playing there? These are two schools that have been longtime rivals, the 50s, 60s, and 70s. Benton Harbor is right now 0-2. New coaches. And if you listen to them, the coaches show they're doing the right things. And hopefully the key is numbers. And that's what they've gotten. Traverse City St. Francis is at Bering Springs. Bering Springs is 0-2, surprisingly. Traverse City St. France, small school state power. This will be a tough game for Bering Springs. Coloma at South Haven. These teams have met a lot. South Haven leads that series 26-9. Centerville at Hartford. Hartford, again, after 2 years of not having a varsity program, back having a team, they're 1-1 on the season. Game that I think will be interesting is Niles at Three Rivers. Coach Shaw at Niles, they're 1-1. They're only lost to St. Joe. He led Three Rivers to the state title when he was their head coach. And then Twin Cities, which is a combination of four schools, They're at Martin. Both teams 2-0. Martin, two-time defending state champ, which knocked off Bridgman last week in a good game, which ended Bridgman's 35-game winning streak. So those are the top games.
Okay. Thank you. Hang on a sec. And thank you very much again to Laser Graphics for helping bring the football preview discussion that we've been having. We had it both on the air here a few minutes ago and on our video live stream. So if you're looking at some of the games that you might be interested in following this weekend, this Friday, tonight, go back and listen to our podcast or our video live stream, because Bret gave a good overview of things that are happening around here, including Lakeshore, who's struggling right now, 0-2.
Then the Friday night kickoff show will be out there.
Okay, that's where we're sending them.
Well, we're
Little
not
Red
sending.
Fern.
Yeah, Little Red Fern. So they'll be on WSJM from 5 to 6.
Yep.
And that's I think that's something that'll pick up popularity. I think it's gonna be pretty cool.
Yeah, but they won't be as cool as you when you brought the bear helmet.
How about that? Was that pretty cool?
That was fun.
And I'd asked permission ahead of time, and
they didn't care. They were like going to go gloss over the whole thing. I don't know if we're ready for that. And then all of a sudden, Bret's got his bear helmet
give
out.
me the hat.
All right.
And I was the only one on that panel that picked St. Joe to win.
Oh my goodness!
I
All right,
remind him of that.
Let's keep moving here.
WSJM News Now. Team coverage from the WSJM newsroom on News Talk Sports 94.9 WSJM.
Currently 62 degrees and some clouds in Benton Harbor, 63 in St. Joseph. Over in Dowagiac, it's 60 degrees. It's the WSJM Morning Show. I'm Ken Lundberg. My Friday co-host is Bret Witkowski today. Today's forecast does call for mostly cloudy skies, breezy conditions, a high around 83, so a little bit cooler. Hopefully those breezes will push out some of that wildfire smoke. You smell any of that? I didn't smell it today, but I smelled it yesterday. It smelled like there was a campfire, and basically that's the smoke from Canada and the National Cherry Festival in Traverse City, where they're still they still have traffic problems from July.
Still counting those people.
No, go back and listen. We had some fun with that earlier this morning. Tonight's forecast: mostly cloudy skies, a low around 62. East winds 5 to 10 miles per hour. And then Saturday, partly sunny, a high around 84 degrees with some light winds as well. Some of the news that we're following for you this morning: Benton Harbor schools are closed today. All public schools in Benton Harbor are closed after a series of disruptions yesterday at the Benton Harbor High School. Police were alerted to the situation just before 1 o'clock yesterday afternoon after what appeared to be some fights at the school and large groups of students gathering outside. When they arrived, police said they found some physical altercations involving multiple students and related disruptions. The school was put on lockdown. Once the situation was under control, students were dismissed from school early. No injuries reported. Nothing beyond physical confrontations were found to have occurred, despite what you might have read on social media. School administrators are taking time today to review safety measures and procedures. Superintendent Kelvin Butts said in a statement, "The safety of our students is of the utmost priority. Students are expected to return to class on Monday." Other news we're covering today: the Berrien County Board of Commissioners is looking at whether to hire walled architects and engineers out of Illinois to do design and planning work for the county's new 911 center that's planned in Buchanan. They'll be considering that project. It's about $840,000. They expect 3 phases of it. They will consider, the board that is, will consider the committee's recommendation to whether or not to hire Wald at an upcoming meeting. And then those storms that blew through parts of southwestern Berrien County back in late August 27th, reportedly did millions of dollars in damage. I think they're talking about estimates around $12 million. So we'll talk about that and some of the aftermath and what the county's thinking about. That's coming up at 8 o'clock this morning. It is the WSJM Morning Show. We've got sports from Dave Wolf coming up in just a moment. Also, a look at state news right now.
The Michigan News Network.
Oh, man. There we go. Official state fruit. I mean, you think it should be a cherry? You're funny.
I don't really care.
No?
Let's see. Could be blueberry, too.
All right, so let's see. Teresa responded, "That was an ouch. My nephew plays for Portage Northern." So I think we asked her how the Lakeshore preview was, and she said that was an ouch. And then she says her nephew plays for Portage Northern.
Okay. Yeah, Portage Northern's 1-1 right now. I just Lakeshore is just struggling right now. Just hardest season or best season I ever did broadcasting was when St. Joe went 0-9.
Ooh, when was that?
Late 90s.
Did they all go to the
early
Cherry
2000s.
Festival or what?
It was, well, I can tell you when. I think it was 23 years ago.
So you're going to be back at Dickinson Stadium tonight.
Yep.
There's going to be pizza. There's going to be cookies.
Yeah, so we'll have Mike Cushman be on the lookout for the pizza to come up. He's a hawk on that. I think I told you they changed which stairwell they come up on.
You did tell us that. Yeah.
That's probably smart on their part. And then we'll have the Mama Graziano cookies. They will be there. They usually get to the stadium about 5.
Oh, really? Okay.
5:05. Her and her other son.
That's good intelligence right there.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
So we'll have that, and we make the handoff to deliveries, kind of like one of those things you see in Central Park, the handoff for delivery.
I have not seen anything in Central Park.
Okay. Well, like TV shows.
Oh, okay.
That type of stuff. Okay. I've been to Central Park twice. That is cool.
I have been in one of the skyscrapers next to Central Park and looked at it, but I have never actually set foot in Central Park.
Yeah, I stayed in a hotel right across the street from it.
I had the opportunity to visit the offices of KKR, which is worth quite a bit of money. And there was actually a fundraiser for lawmakers there
There's a surprise
that I got to peek in at.
Money for lawmakers. Now, why would they need that?
Right?
Yeah. Hey, if our issue comes up, remember.
Let's see. I've got to change the board settings here because we have a couple of guests coming in.
Oh, that's right. We got Mike.
Yeah, we'll have Mike
and his attorney friend, right?
No, it's not going to be his attorney friend. We're actually bringing in Lorraine Day, who works for Midwest Family. She's a business development person.
Cool.
And she's coming in because they want to talk a little bit about what people in her age bracket should be thinking about or might be thinking about as they think about financial planning.
What age bracket is she in?
That is not a nice question to ask.
I said bracket. I didn't say how old.
I will let you ask that.
Well, I would think that's part of the discussion, isn't it?
It's up to you, man.
Do they get the new headphones?
Yeah, exactly. We'll unwrap them just for them, and then we'll put them back in the box.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to going to Albion's football game. Our oldest daughter graduated from there. It was interesting how she picked that school.
How did she pick that school?
So her first love was volleyball. So the hope was to play some college volleyball. And I think she kind of wanted to go to Trine, if I remember right.
She wanted what?
To go to Trine University.
Oh, okay.
And we had visited that, and we'd visited, 5-10 different schools. And so my head coach from Ball State, actually, when he retired from NCAA coaching, helped out at Albion for a couple of years.
Okay.
Really, really good man, Paul Shadell. And somehow, I know, it popped up on the list, Albion. So I reached out to him, and because I saw the cost of the school, I'm like, there's no way I can afford this, or we can afford this, excuse me. No way. So I called him, and he's like, no, he says, they have a lot of endowments. They help out a lot. And then he just said, yeah, you kind of owe me, because I did. I mean, he paid for my college. And I said, okay, we'll visit. And so we drove there. Elizabeth did not want to go at all.
Aw.
Not at all. It was a rainy day. It was nasty. And
that's unfortunate.
She did not want to go. She was not a happy camper going there the whole way and pulling in, not a happy camper. But it was cool. They had a little sign, welcome Elizabeth. And so we do the tour, and we let her do her thing and ask what she wants. And Elizabeth was very smart. She always asked a lot of good questions. She's extremely smart. And we get in the car. We're driving. Not long after Amy and I and Elizabeth got back on the highway, she goes, I want to go to Albion. I'm like, what? You didn't even want to go here. And so that's how she picked it. And she has tons of lifelong friends who, a lot of them were in her wedding a couple months ago, and really really enjoyed herself. Had a really good, got a good education, good college. I like it. It's a pretty campus. So We're going to go watch them play football on Saturday. So her and her husband and I are going to meet over there. Amy's got, I think, a wedding or something, or photography. So we'll have fun. I enjoy watching football.
Really? You enjoy watching football?
I like it live better than on TV, though. I've moved to that stage in my life.
That is interesting. I
got to bring my stadium chair.
Let's see. Let's do this one. Oh no, I can't do that one. Sorry,
That's okay. One time,
browsing my music library here while you talk.
One time, so I'm a big Green Bay Packer fan.
Oh,
and so I had a friend in Lions Club who had a friend who had. Oh, is that your boy's music?
What do you mean? No, keep going.
You're a killer, man. You're a killer.
It's like this song was written for you.
Hey, you gotta fill time, otherwise we just sit here and stare at each other.
That would be fun.
It's like a Chinese communist meeting.
That would be so uncomfortable.
So we got.
Did I tell you the time I went to People's Republic of? No, I went to the Republic of China, which is Taiwan.
Really?
That's Taiwan.
Oh yeah, I would go there.
The Republic of China is Taiwan, and then the People's Republic of China is China.
I would never go there.
They named it, because they were doing their thing.
Well, because they're political rivals.
Well, kind of. I mean,
well, they were.
China believes that they own Taiwan, so it's not really a rivalry. They're just a breakaway republic, according to China. Yeah, Taiwan says we're our own free democracy, and that's part of the reason we were there is to
but you remember,
make sure that the connections were made with government officials.
But the government of Taiwan originally was in China and lost the battle to the communists. And
that's the whole thing.
Taiwan.
Yeah, that's the whole thing.
I can see why Chinese thinks they own it.
But I tell you, we even before we left to go to Taiwan, we were instructed by our U.S. government handlers to make sure that anything, you may think about either not taking your official at the time. I can't remember if we had BlackBerries at the time or if we were over to iPhones at that time.
Popular at one point.
And anyway, whatever our device was, they said, don't transmit anything sensitive on them, because even though you're in Taiwan, there's a heavy spy presence from China there. So that was one thing. Basically, they said consider your hotel room bugged. So that was another thing. And then
so you wave.
Hi, I'm going to sleep now. Yep. Do you like my nightie? But and then we got to go around and see some of the different factories and installations that were there. But at all times, it felt like we were under surveillance. It was just so weird. And we were just a domestic mission. We weren't doing anything silly. We were just part of a relations thing.
Well, and I think at some point China will crumble, just like the Soviet Union.
Boy, you think so?
Yes, I do.
I mean, they've got some centuries that argue otherwise.
No, I think they will. Communism.
Russia, maybe. China, I don't know.
No, at some point, may not be our lifetime, but they will, just like Soviet Union did. Communism fails. A faithless country.
We got to get to more here. Hang on a sec. Hang on. We got to get back.
There's right around 80 degrees. We will stay mostly cloudy as we head into tonight as well. A little bit breezy at times with the wind out of the southeast. We drop down to 62. And then for tomorrow, a mix of the sun and clouds, high temperatures in the lower 80s. We'll be in the low to mid 80s on Sunday. I'm Chief Meteorologist Carrie Peugeot.
The Morning Show with Ken and Friends on 94.9 WSJM.
Oh my goodness. Now we're into geopolitical discussions.
Well, we're trying to make the show interesting.
We're trying?
Trying.
Boy.
I listened to you yesterday. We're trying.
Hey. What didn't you like? What did you find not interesting yesterday?
I'm just giving you a hard time.
Boy, oh boy. Hey, yesterday was a really interesting.
I can give it and I can take it.
Do you like Tosi's?
Of course I do. Who doesn't?
Okay. Because they're celebrating 85 years.
I saw that, yeah.
And yesterday we had Dan McCrary on, who's the current owner, proprietor, general manager.
Been there a long time.
35 years. Yeah. 35 years. But
he looks like he's about 35.
He does.
I mean, it's just,
he started talking about grandkids, and I'm like, dude,
he does not look.
Yeah, You don't look a day older than someone who doesn't have grandkids. So we had a good discussion with him yesterday. We always have these good discussions between 7 and 8 o'clock, except for when Brett's here.
Yeah.
And then
6 to 7, 8 to 9 are pretty rough.
But if you want to catch any of that interview, you can go back to our YouTube or our Facebook page. Just make a point of doing it this weekend. Check it out. Just do us a favor and take a sample of it. And if you like what you hear, just like and subscribe to either our YouTube channel or our Facebook channel. And you can see those live community voice interviews brought to you right here on WSJM. Free of charge. We don't charge people for those interviews, by the way.
That's the nice part.
Well, I don't know. I mean, we enjoy it. I enjoy it. I think it brings value to the listener, so we do it.
It does.
It's 7:51 and the WSJM Morning Show continues. Moody on the Market Update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. And one of the things we posted on moodyonthemarket.com, the fall color map. The state has released an interactive fall color map, and we have a link to it there. It was released by Pure Michigan to help everyone know where and when to see the best fall colors around the state of Michigan. It's an interactive map. It enables users to move around a leaf to find vibrant autumn foliage throughout the season, and it's being updated on a regular basis. Pure Michigan urges anyone who's interested to consider booking a campsite in a state park or a forest campground to make the most of the vibrant color season. When's the last time you went camping?
6th grade at Lincoln School in St. Joe.
Boy, the memory banks whirred and clicked and overheated there.
Yep. We went there. It was up in Covert, and it was just, we were out there the same time. This goes back obviously a long time, but the tornado went through Kalamazoo.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah. If you look that up.
6th grade.
Yeah. And I remember weather was coming. Obviously, back then there was no pre-warn. It just, they had us hunker down. And obviously, it didn't hit us, but I guess if you want to count being in the boot camp and Air Force is camping out.
The what? Air Force?
Yeah, Air Force Academy.
Oh, was that part of the Air Force Academy?
Yeah, you go through boot camp. I went there my freshman year.
Oh, that's camping. Okay.
Yeah.
So we moved on from 6th grade. So that was camping. Yeah, I mean, if you're sleeping outside under the stars or you got a tent or something.
Oh, we did that.
Yeah.
Yeah, for I think a week.
Did you see the colors? Did you see the leaves change?
No.
Okay.
I like when the leaves change. You know, what I always love is
a lot of people do.
Like a Friday night football game.
Oh, okay.
And it's sunny.
Yeah.
And the leaves are changing because you got a really nice view, and most stadiums there's trees somewhere.
Yeah, that's magical.
I that to me is always pretty.
Yeah. So if you want to see a map, an interactive map of where the leaves are changing, where and when to see the best stuff, we've got the link to it right there at moodyonthemarket.com. Your Moody on the Market update is brought to you by Insurance Management Service. Call IMS today. They are your local auto owners insurance agency in St. Joseph and in Niles. We've got a bunch more to talk about here, and Mike Weibel is going to be joining us from Baird Financial for a few minutes next hour, and he's bringing in a special guest, which is none other than Lorraine Day from our own Midwest family. So
we're going to talk Friday lunchtime basketball. Mike and I guarded each other last week.
Did you really? How'd it go? Was there a photo?
No, it went well because I'm like, you don't have to run this much.
He tired you out?
He said, thank you. And I said, no, we can walk up and down.
Oh, boy. All right. We've got more coming up in just a moment.
When you travel, they always say, get a room with a view. And
why didn't you just snap a picture to reenact the time that you fouled him?
Oh, we should do that.
You should do that.
Yeah.
Wear the same outfit. You got to wear the same outfits.
Well, that I don't have. And
they have to be the exact same outfit.
He has
and the size. It's got to be the size that you were in high school.
I'm the size I was in college, which is not good either.
Oh.
Actually, I'm less than that now. But
well, you're a big guy.
I'm tall.
You're built for football.
Basketball was my first love, though.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Okay. I think you've said that before.
Yeah, I would have played that in college if I'd have been good enough.
Yeah. I feel like that's a familiar story for a lot of people.
Yeah.
But that's all right. I'm trying to get Samuel, one of my sons, interested in basketball because that boy, he has, you know how corn is knee high by July?
Mm-hmm.
And then this time around, it's way up there.
Mm-hmm.
He's there. He's way up there now. He's in 8th grade, and he's taller than me. He's taller than his two older brothers.
And he's at Buchanan, right?
No, he's at Niles.
It'd be good. This would be the right year to go try it.
Well, that's what I told him. I said, if the coach hands you a basketball, you take it, say thank you, sir, and go onto the court.
Yeah, I mean, try middle school. I mean, they play 12 games only.
Is that it? Just 12?
That's all they're allowed to by the state.
Oh, okay.
And their season is November, December. So for middle school, and he should go give it a try.
Teresa says, Ken, you're funny. And she also says, have a great weekend, everyone. So everyone do have a great weekend. And
I think
basketball would be fun.
The one thing I do well in coaching is getting kids to come play. And a lot of it is they just gotta feel like someone believes in them.
Yes.
I think that's because, I think we all have doubt.
Yeah.
And if they have,
you have aspiration and you have doubt, and sometimes the doubt outweighs the aspiration. So you're right. Having somebody believe in you and help you along through those tough periods is good.
Because, at Bangor right now for girls basketball, we're out recruiting the girls, at the school. And I think we've picked up, I'm going to say at least 3 that are going to play. I've got a senior who hasn't played since 6th grade. She'll help us. I got another probably senior's going to try it. And I tell them at that stage, I'll give you 1 of 3 answers. And I'll be honest with you. One is probably not your thing. You're not going to play much. And, I don't want someone to think they're going to and then be lied to.
Right.
Number 2, may not start, but you'll play and help us, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, a quarter, something like that. And then number 3, you should have played the entire time.
Yeah.
And I have a 5'10" senior, and I'm like, you should have played all 4 years.
Wow.
She will help us.
Would you mind grabbing Mike Weibel from the front door, please?
Do I have to grab him or just open the door?
Well, just open the door. We don't want any lawsuits. We'll be right back.
Experienced and insured?
Yes, you should. Call the experts and feel at ease with McGee's. They know the rules and they don't cut corners. Trust the people that care who know how to do it right the first time. All you need to do is work with McGee's once to see the difference, and they'll be the first call every time. Feel at ease with McGee's. Call today for your estimate. Feel at ease with McGee's.
The Morning Show with Ken Lundberg on WSJM.
And good morning. Welcome to the WSJM Morning Show. Hoping you're having a great Friday morning so far. How can you not? Especially when we have a weather forecast like we do, and especially because we've got Mike Weibel coming into the studio.
So we got new headphones? Check out our headphones. What? Look at this.
Brett is causing chaos and confusion.
It's so cool.
We're going old school.
Here's our dial phone for you.
The sign of a radio professional, Mike, is calluses on the ears.
Oh.
And so that's what are you sitting over there for?
Well, because Lorraine's coming in, right?
Well, yeah, let's see. Okay, now
He's trying to be courteous.
Is she here? Where is she at?
She's outside the door.
Well, you got to come inside the door. Come on in. Hey, Lorraine, how are you? Come on in.
Turn the handle.
All right, so we have to get to news here in just a moment. But here, grab that microphone. Put it up close and personal there. That's how we do this here.
Yes, sir.
All right. How you doing?
Hi.
Good morning.
Great.
You're going to be part of our guest this morning?
Yes.
That's fantastic.
Part of the Midwest family broadcasting family.
Brett was already asking how old you are. Don't answer.
Okay.
No, I had said age range. I never said age. I know. I'm not stupid. I got through.
Wait a second. The jury,
Yeah.
the same people who are studying the attendance at the National Cherry Festival are still looking at your last statement.
Okay.
I'm not stupid. All right. It's 7.
Well, they say 500. Do you guys believe 500,000 people go to the Cherry Festival?
That's what they say every year.
$500,000.
Half a million.
No,
that's what they say.
I'm not arguing. That's what they say.
All right.
There's no way.
It is the WSJM Morning Show. I'm going to turn everyone's microphone down because we have to get to ABC News. We've got Mike Weibel, Lorraine Day, Bret Witkowski, and myself coming up next.
From ABC News, I'm Dave Packer. Tens of thousands of machinists at Boeing voting to strike. Boeing offered a 25% raise over 4 years. Well,
Traverse City.
All right. So Brett is hanging his hat on this one that there's no way you get 500,000 people.
What did the Grand Valley study say?
323,000?
I'll live with that.
500 people. That's what they said.
That's realistic.
They just rounded up.
Yeah, it is rounded. We rounded up to the closest 500,000.
I'm not defending it one way or another, but that is what the National Cherry Festival people say. I'm taking them at their word.
Well,
maybe
whatever.
They've got kids and stuff like that. All right, that's the WSJM Morning Show for this Friday. And
I'm gonna go up and count.
keep tuning
Junior
in
on
because
Mr.
we've
Like
got
a
some good
field trip.
financial.
He could go camping. We'll take him out camping.
Did you hear him? The last time he went camping was 6th grade.
6th grade.
Yeah, in
I
a
would
volcano.
Elementary.
In a tornado.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
did.
it was.
In a tornado.
No
If you
wonder
look
he
up-
hasn't gone back. That's childhood trauma all
If you
day.
look up the Kalamazoo City tornado, it's the same day we were camping.
Oh boy. Maybe it was just you snoring outside.
Yeah.
In 6th grade.
Fair.
All right, we're gonna turn off
I
the
was
video.
already 6'6".
We're gonna
Yeah,
turn
I
off
was gonna
the
say, he was
video.
a kid
live
with his
stream.
feet hanging out the tent.
That's what it was.
We'll see you on Monday. And Mike, are you my co-host on Monday?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
So Mike Weibel
Good.
is
It's a
filling in for
promotion.
Brett, who well, I don't know, it's a demotion if he's filling in for you.
Oh, it's a little chippy in here today. I didn't see that coming.
What
All
are we
right,
walking
Good thing
through?
he controls the microphone.
Have fun at the football game tonight, Brett. All right, we'll be back.